my name is Anna Crane and I'm with Applied Cosmetic Services based out of Lexington, Kentucky. Today I'm going to show you another makeup look for the fall trend 2013, and this is more of an evening look, and I'm going to use my model Maya. We already have a foundation base on her, so what I'm going to do is apply an eye base. I like the MAC primer. This particular color is a little bit of a darker shade. It's sort of a cream. It's After Soft Ochre. And what I'm going to do is grab a concealer brush, and I'm just going to cover both ends of the brush, front and back, one for each eyelid, and then I'm going to seal it. That's really important so that your product doesn't dry out. So I'm going to go ahead and go from the base of her lash line, and I'm going to go ahead and go all the way up to her brow bone. This will just keep the shadow nice and smooth and won't allow it to crease throughout the day. We're going to do a little bit of a darker eye on her in a neutral lip. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start with the Naked palette, and I'm going to begin with the color Buck. I'm just going to put a little bit on the brush, and I'm just going to lightly dab it on the inside corner of her eye. This is a nice, soft, warm brown, and it is matte. It does not have any shimmer. So we're going to start with that. Next, I'm going to take my brush into Busted, which is a darker shade. This one does have a little bit of a frost finish to it. And this is from the Naked 2 palette. And I'm going to go ahead and apply it all the way from one end of her crease to the other. I'm going to repeat that on the left eye. Oh, sorry, babe. Almost like a windshield wiper effect. Okay. When she opens her eye, you should be able to see a little bit of the darker shade on the top. Next, I'm going to take a brush that is almost like a pencil. It has a rounded tip, nice and round. And I'm going to go into Blackout, which is in the Naked 2 palette. And this is a black that is matte. And I'm just going to connect from the edge of her eye to the top of where her crease is. And I'm just going to go ahead and start blending that in. I'm working from the outside in because you do not want a lot of fallout, and you don't want the shadow to go too far over. It's going to change the shape of her eye. I'm going to go into Creep, which is the shimmery black in the Naked palette, and I'm going to focus on working more of the inside corner of her eye. Just blend it open. You can start to see the smoky eyes being created. I'm going to repeat the same thing on her right eye, starting with a matte black. Blending it in. And then now I'm going to go into Creep, which is the shimmery black. I'm going to go right into the center of the eye and blend that out. I've worked back and forth because when you're doing a smoky eye, it's really important that it's symmetrical. Now is probably a good time to grab a blender brush, and this is just a clean, fluffy brush. And this is great just to kind of almost blend and erase any lines. You don't want to see any demarcations on your smoky eye. That's the trick. You want it to look really soft and smooth. At this point, it's pretty even. So what I'm going to do is grab my other pencil brush, and I'm going to go into the gray. It's called Gunmetal, and it's in the Naked palette. It has a little bit of shimmer, and I'm going to dab it right on the inside corner. This is really going to blend the black and then that really soft brown warm on the inside of the eye. Gives more of a three-dimensional look to your smoky eye as well. Now we're going to repeat the same steps on the bottom of the eye, the bottom of the lash line. I'm going to take that soft, warm brown, look up for me, and I'm just going to dab a little bit on the inside corner. Then I'm going to take the gray, and I'm going to smudge it on the bottom, all the way to the end. And that color is Gunmetal. And then, yeah, just a little bit more. And then I'm going to take black out, and from the outer corner I'm going to connect the top of her eye corner to the bottom. And you can go as thick as you want on the bottom, or as dark as you want all the way across. Some people like to black out the waterline. I tend to just make it a little bit more smudgy. It still keeps the eye open. I think one of the finishing steps is going to be taking that color. I'm going to take Buck, and I'm going to highlight the top of her brow just ever so lightly before I go in with the brow definition. And just blend that right in. So now to finish off the eye, we're going to go ahead and work on the brows and darken those just a little bit. I'm going to take the Chanel Angled Brow Brush, and I'm going to go into the darkest brown color. Even though she has very dark hair, you don't want to go in too black. You never want your brows that much darker than your natural hair. So I'm just going to start lightly and brush it in the direction that the hair grows. So essentially, it starts right there, and it should end right there. You want to make sure the arch is always soft and rounded, not too sharp, otherwise she's going to look angry, and we don't want her to look like that. Now I'm going to take my clean mascara wand, and I'm just going to brush the hair, make sure it stays in the direction I want it to. Perfect. So now I'm ready for the eyeliner. This is more of a rounded smoky eye, so I think for this one we're going to do a little bit of a thicker liner on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and take the fluid line, and I'm going to apply it to my palette and smooth it on the brush, nice and flat. Make sure you don't pick up too much, it'll be easier for control. And what I'm going to do with Maya is I'm going to do thicker to thinner on the inside. So this one's going to be winged out just ever so slightly because we're going to apply some lashes. And since her eye is so dark, you can get away with a lot thicker of a line. Open. Perfect. I'm going to repeat the same thing on the right eye. Perfect. So we're ready for some mascara. So again, I'm going to use the CoverGirl Lash Blast 24 Hour with the disposable wand. And apply it, take off any of the excess. Going to look at her knee while I apply a nice thick coat on her lashes. Now hers are very curly, so I did not need to use a lash curler on her. You'll know when you look in the mirror if you're going to need a little bit of a curl. Even on the ends, you would be amazed how much of a little eye lift appearance it gives. Now I have her eyelashes already pre-trimmed as well, and so these are just a little bit more natural. They're not too long on the ends. I'm going to go ahead and take the Duo Glue. You can pick this up anywhere. And this is the black. They also have a white one, but because I did use black eyeliner, I prefer to use the darker glue. And I'm going to grab the lashes. I'm going to apply tiny bit of glue on the back with a toothpick. And when her eye is closed, I'm going to start on the outer corner to decide where I want the longest part of the lash to be. And then just apply it towards the inside. If you've trimmed them the right way, they'll fit right in. Perfect. That'll take about 30 seconds to dry. So I'm going to go ahead and keep her eye closed and apply the right lash. Do the same thing, decide where the outer part of the lash is. while it's wet, you're able to move it over if you need to. Once it's dry, you can't do that so much. You would have to take them off and reapply. Perfect. In the meantime, while her eyes are closed, I'm going to go ahead and work on her cheekbones. And I'm going to take the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural Powder. This is MAC's mineral powder. And this particular color is medium deep. And all I'm going to do is just kind of lightly contour around the face, around the cheekbones, top of the forehead into the hairline. This should blend right in, give a really beautiful finish to the skin. I'm going to go down to the T-zone. Apply a little bit on her neck just to blend. Next, I'm going to take the MAC Bronzing Powder, Refine Enriched Bronze, and I'm going to contour again. This is going to be a little bit darker, so I want to make sure I can see those cheekbones. Around the hairline. Around the jaw and down the neck. And then I'm going to take a little bit of coral color just for the cheek, just to add a little brightness. We don't want it to pick up too much of an orange, too much of a pink, so this is a very neutral color. Okay, now we're ready for the eyes to open. Perfect. And I'm going to take the same brush I used for the eyeliner. Okay. And all I'm going to do is just follow the bottom of the lash line just to make it a little bit darker. And it'll help blend your concealer to your foundation, cleaning off all the edges. Alright, so I think we're ready now for the lips, and because the eye is a little bit more bold, I went with the High Pigment L'Oreal collection, and this one's called Dreamer. It's number 178. I really love these products because it's almost like a liquid lipstick. It has shine, it's opaque, but you don't really need a lip liner unless you want to. So for this one, we're going to go ahead and just apply directly to the lip. Starting in the center and working my way out. I want it to look shimmery and soft, but I don't want it too filled in. So I'm going to skip the liner. This has a really nice natural pigment, so it's a neutral, and it has a lot of gloss in it. Perfect. And then I'm going to finish it off as well with the Sephora Glitter Gloss. And this is just a clear gloss with some pink and green and violet glitter particles in it. And I'm going to go ahead and just put that on right on the center of the lip. Just going to give the effect of an extra pouty, soft lip. And there you go. That's an evening look that looks great with anything for the holidays. A little bit of shimmer and a nice smoky eye. Thank you.